Wait for playback to come back up. There we go. All right, is everything recording properly? It is. Good, good. All right. All right, let's just jump into it. So I've never played this game, and I don't think I've really seen much gameplay of it. I saw like Markiplier's play through a while ago. There was once a man named Wario who worked along with a friend of his at Wario's own fast food factory. One day, however, the two men went missing and they were never found. Since that day, the factory has been closed due to people thinking the factory was cursed. Seven years later, the government decided to reopen the factory and start the production again. Why the government? A weird detail. One man has gotten a job as a guard during the night. "12 a.m., first night." I'm not gonna beat this game, by the way. Probably not, because it's probably gonna get really hard by the end of this game.
Hello? Mr. McRoy, is it? I'll call you Richard, if that's okay with you. I'd like to welcome you to Wario's fast food factory, Richard. Oh, I'm James, by the way. Nothing special about me that you need to know, really. I like to code video games as a hobby. Although I'm unsure if I'm really good at coding video games, at least I love doing it, you know? And I always wanted to be part of something big. Something that affects people, you know? I hope I can put my video game coding to good use one day. But I was fortunate to be one of the minds behind the reopening of this factory here. That's something I'm very happy about. But anyway, enough about me. Welcome to Wario's Fast Food Factory, a place with a dark past and a bright future, as we like to say. It's back in business, much thanks to your father, in fact, who invested so much and really kickstarted this entire reopening. The original owner, Wario, hence the name Wario, of course, he died 7 years ago, you see, back in 2007. Tragic stuff. This factory closed off then following that tragic event, as you may know, but now it's back in business. It grew popular due to a unique secret recipe for fast food that Wario used, so you bet we're using the very same one. Now, you've been hired as a night guard in the factory. The job is quite simple. Be glad you're not here during the day shift, I tell you, where all the machines have to be operated and all that stuff. All you really have to do is to keep an eye on things. It sounds vague, I know, but it's not that much more to it, really. You're currently sitting in the main office of the factory, and seeing as the place hasn't been used for many years, we cannot know for sure just how functional the old machinery is yet. Has everything remained intact? It's hard to say. That's why you need to remain in your office and watch over the factory using some brand new security cameras we've installed. Straight from Secure Incorporated. Just open up the pad you've been given and have a look around. Just make sure everything looks okay, pretty much. You only have so much power at your disposal at night, however. Try not to use all of it. Having that camera pad open drains some of that power, but even worse is the door to your left and the control room window to your right. As you have probably seen, we have installed some buttons you can use for each one of them. The red buttons will bring down strong metallic doors, and the white buttons will trigger lights in the respective doorways. Keeping these doors down drain quite a lot of power, as do having the door lights active. Please only use these when you need to. When would you need to, you might wonder? Well, there have been rumors going around for years that this recipe that Wario was using, that we are using now, was quite interesting to money-hungry thieves back in the day when the factory was up and running. So the doors, the lights, it's just for safety, really. Mandatory precautions, that's all. No worries. Just keep an eye on the camera pad, yeah? Otherwise, you should be good, I think, yeah. We are very excited for this new era of the Wario's brand.
I don't see
So,
anything
have a good
happening.
night, Richard, and I'll give you a call tomorrow.
I'm gonna get spooked more than likely by just like a character appearing. Also, did I just see movement? Looks like I saw movement. Hi, Waluigi. Oh, now the power is going down. Oh, there's Wario. There's Waluigi. Getting closer. I'm more than likely gonna die here. If I had to assume anything. Hi, bud. Where are people at? It's only 2 a.m. There's Waluigi. Is that Wario there? Hard to tell. Yeah. Yeah, now I'm sort of understanding how it works. Are these the only two that are active right now? Don't much appreciate the footsteps everywhere. I know Mario shows up on the screen. That's what I remember. Where is he? Uh-oh. I don't trust it. Where did he go? I'm so dead. Because he disappeared. There you are. Now I'm gonna die. It's 5 a.m. Yeah, I'm so dead. Okay. I think I'll be fine for the rest of the night. Just gotta wait it out. The hell? I'm so dead. Because the power just drained like 1,000,000,000%. I'm dead. That was a weird chime. I don't much like that. Continue back to menu? Continue, obviously. This game is more like creepy than anything else. I'm assuming they're gonna introduce Peach and Mario.
Hi there. James here again.
Hey, that's my name.
I heard you did good last night. Well done, Richard. Remember, if you see anyone snooping around at night, you tell us about it, yeah? We don't want another uncomfortable incident like... Anyway, I heard from a co-worker today that you had questions about this place and its past. Well, the original owner, Wario, you know, businessman, he was kind, yet he wasn't free of greed and stress. But honestly, who are, really? He was clever, and he had that boss-type personality, you know? It was him and his business partner, Waluigi, who started this factory and the Wario's brand as a whole. I don't know much about this Waluigi guy, aside from him being known as the sidekick, kind of, or as the less interesting one.
I don't know if I'm supposed to be watching the cameras while he's talking.
Words. Charming, convincing, clever, but also insecure. Living in his friend's shadow, putting Wario in front of himself. You know, a people pleaser. That's how people described him. But also a people knower, apparently. He knew how to convince people, getting them to agree with him. That's probably why Wario chose him to be his business partner. The two of them made a good team, apparently. They started a cafe. That was the first thing, back in the 80s, you see, the late 80s. Wario's Cafe, it was their first business, and that's also where this secret recipe of his found its footing and grew popular. They closed it off fairly quickly for unknown reasons, actually, and the two men began in the video game industry instead a few years later, in 1990, I think it was. WarioWare Incorporated. You might have heard of it. It was quite a spectacle, and the ideas and products from there were impressive, to say the least. However, people called the place haunted. Rumors has it that even Wario himself claimed the building felt off. And WarioWare actually partly burned down a few years later, unfortunately. It must have been an electrical fire, I guess. But that's when they were able to found their third establishment, which was this very fast food factory. I think it was a lifelong dream of Wario to build this factory, and finally it was up. And things were going well until, you know, I told you the owner died. But that's not quite the entire story. He, Waluigi, along with 3 of their co-workers, completely disappeared one day. Gone. Nobody found them, heard from them, nothing. People had claimed to get strange vibes from the factory since day one, and the disappearance of these 5 didn't exactly lighten those rumors up. Some have even used the word cursed when describing this place. So what happened to them exactly, we don't know for sure. But I've talked long enough for tonight, Richard. I'm sorry. I just thought I would let you in more on the details of the past of your workplace, you know? I'll let you get back to work, and I'll talk to you tomorrow night, yeah?
Dope. So, it'd be nice if I knew who was active tonight. Yeah, Wario, Waluigi. The ambiance is really great, I will say. He's right there. Oh, is that Luigi? I don't know. I know Luigi shows up on the right side. I believe anyway he does anyways. There's you. Okay, there's you. Out of here. There's Luigi. I don't know what Luigi's mechanic is. I don't know if he's like just shows up at the window or if he does something else. I'm not entirely sure. That was almost really bad. Yeah, he's gone. There are footsteps everywhere. Wario is over there. Luigi's there. Where is... I was about to say, where is Waluigi at? I'm assuming that was this. Yeah. he's still there. Is that Luigi right there? Switching it up on me, huh? I'm so dead. Dead. Goodbye. On 6 a.m. Oh. Cutting it way too close. What? Okay, so is somebody like hitting the power generator or somebody or something? Because it's really weird how at like the very tail end of the night, like the power just drains so quickly. It's like even when I'm not using the doors or the cameras or the lights or whatever, it just drains so quick because I had like 20 to 30% power left, and by the end of the night I had no power, like in that last hour. So it's like it's really weird how I just don't have enough power at the end of the night, because the first night it was cutting it way too close. But anyways, might have to do a 7th game at this one.
Hey, Richard. Third night is up, and you should be getting the hang of this now, I guess. Everything's good, right?
No.
You'd tell me if something was up. I have to inform you about some upgrades we've installed today. As you know, this factory was built on an old piece of land, yeah? There were remains of underground tunnels that Wario turned into this factory's current cellar. At some point, though, the tunnels down there become unstable, and the deeper areas down there seem to be way too unsafe to enter. So, you know, who knows
Are you kidding me?
how far these tunnels actually go, and who
Oh,
knows what
fuck
they were
this.
originally used for. Anyway, I'm telling you this because, well, first of all, don't go down there, yeah? But secondly, we kind of heard noises coming from down there today. Footsteps, as some people here claimed. As well as singing. Sounds quite absurd to me, but, you know, take it as you want.
There is no way I'm gonna
We
be able
feel
to handle all
someone
this.
may have been
Fuck
trying to break
this.
in from below. Even though that should be impossible, of course. Or it could be animals down there. Bats, we don't know for sure, but there were sounds coming from down there, most definitely. So just for safety, of course, we put up some more cameras down there as well. You should easily be able to access them on your camera pad, just like the other cameras, so you can keep an eye out on stuff. Yeah, the light situation down there, it's not good. So, why have cameras at all down there if you can't see anything, right? Well, there is an emergency solution for now. Using your camera pad, you can flash some lights we've installed down there, just in case you hear someone walking down there. The cameras have microphones built into them, so you should be able to hear sounds they pick up through your pad, yeah? So, now and then, just take a peek at those underground cameras and listen if their microphones pick up anything of interest. Listen for a few moments, though, before you brush it off as nothing. For all we know, if there should be something down there, it can take a few seconds before anything moves at all. In addition to that, because the cameras are so far underground, there might be some audio delay from the cameras and to the pad you're holding. So, based on what we heard today, and what some people heard, just to be sure, listen for a few seconds. Listen if you can hear anything that resembles walking, footsteps, singing, anything like that. And if you don't hear anything for 2, 3, 4 seconds, I'm sure it's good to go. And give the lamps down there a big flash if you hear something, okay? We don't really want anyone breaking in, so be careful though. We are on a tight budget as well, so electricity at night is still limited. So here's the deal. Flashing those lamps down there, it drains quite a lot of power if there's no movement detection in that room. So therefore, please use those flashes sparingly. Only use them if you hear something in that room, okay? We don't really want you to suddenly sit there in the darkness for half a night with no power left.
Garbage.
Okay. Okay, I think that's it. Yeah. I'll update you tomorrow if anything else is to be reported, yeah? Good night.
Fuck you, man. Not cool. I'm not thrilled about that mechanic. Why am I flashing the light so early? I heard footsteps, though. Yeah, they're both active. You're active. I'm gonna die more than likely. Assuming that was camera 1. What am I doing? He's just more than likely gonna kill me. Because I don't understand this mechanic. There's Waluigi. I'm so dead. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm assuming she's just gonna be there for the rest of the night. If I had to assume anything, more than likely. God, close the door. I'm so dead. I'm so dead. Yeah, she's just gonna be there for the rest of the night. Well, that's unfortunate. Uh-oh. Bye-bye. Yeah, I don't quite understand that mechanic. All right. Well, I think I'm gonna end this section here because I'm not gonna figure out that mechanic. It's like I'm listening and the sounds are a little confusing because what I hear, I'm hearing footsteps, but I don't think I'm hearing the right footsteps. But because Peach got through, and I didn't exactly know how to find her on the cameras. I didn't know. I didn't know what sounds I was looking for because he said footsteps, like movement, like singing. Like I didn't hear any of that. I might have heard that at one point, but it sounded all the same, which is what confused me. So, yeah, I don't know. I might try to figure it out in my free time and I'll come back to this. But for the meantime, I'm going to end this section